Hi, my name is Luana and today I want to show you about our project for InterSystems Programming Contest AI Agents for FHIR, which is EpInsights, an intelligent epidemiological analysis platform designed to help healthcare professionals, researchers, and public health teams explore FHIR-based clinical data through a conversational interface. The project originated from the combination of one of the suggested tasks and the patient clinical reg idea, related to the 637 community idea, but evolved into a more specific proposal. Instead of concentrating on a single patient, we use FHIR data in InterSystems iris to analyze diseases and symptoms at a regional level. Users can ask questions in natural language, and the platform automatically generates secure FHIR SQL queries, builds epidemiological dashboards and heat maps, and even uses vector search to identify regions with similar clinical behavior. Before we explore the platform, let's take a quick look at the setup process. Now, I'll show you how to install and run EpInsights locally. The entire stack runs in Docker, so setup is straightforward. You need Git, Docker, Docker Compose, and an OpenAI API key. First, clone the repository and enter the project directory. Because the project uses a synthetic dataset based on real Brazilian cities and diseases, we need to generate the data by running the following commands. Now we need to configure the API key. First, go back to the project root directory, copy the data from the .env.example file to your new .env file, and then open to define your OpenAI API key. Once you defined your key, we're ready to run Docker Compose up build. This will start the backend, front end, and iris for health. When you see logs like this, it means the application started successfully. This is EpInsights dashboard. Right now, it's just waiting. There's still no data. Everything you see in here will update from one single question. You can type the question you want or select from the suggested ones. I'll select the second option and wait to see the output. You can track some of the processes through the logs. Let's check it out. The system is doing three things right now. First, it rewrites my question to ensure it will return geographic data. Second, it queries the real FHIR terminology in our IRIS database to discover the actual ICD-10 and SNOMED codes for dengue. It never assumes, it always checks. Third, it generates a validated SQL query against the FHIR repository, runs it, and feeds the results to the AI for analysis. As we can see in the chat, we have a brief general summary of the requested topic. The map is now showing a heat map of dengue intensity across Brazil during this month. Just below the map, the panel shows Campinas as the epicenter, 8 confirmed cases. Additionally, the system automatically found the cities with the most similar clinical profile to Campinas using vector search, as we can see on the table. Finally, the system generated a list of actionable recommendations with interventions to prioritize. Before we move on, I want to show you the generated query that fed the data into EpInsights. Let's check this out in the management portal, making sure we are in the FHIR server namespace. This is the query that I copied and pasted into the portal. The query joins 4 FHIR resources: condition, encounter, location, and the raw resource table. FHIR stores references as strings, so we normalize them with the string concatenation. This is the ICD-10 code for dengue fever, 890. The system didn't hardcode this. It discovered it dynamically by querying the actual terminology stored in our FHIR repository, then passed it to the SQL builder. The date filter was also generated dynamically. The agent called the datetools function to get today's date and build the correct temporal window for this month's cases. And here are the results: cities, states, case counts, and coordinates. This is exactly the data that powered the map you saw on the dashboard. Campinas at the top with the most cases. The same numbers, the same order. EpInsights is generated from real FHIR data in InterSystems Iris for Health, using a plain English question that the AI converts into SQL, validates, executes, and visualizes in seconds. Every result is fully transparent and auditable, allowing health authorities to trace each insight back to the exact query and underlying clinical data. EpInsights transforms healthcare data into trusted, explainable intelligence, turning questions into action in seconds.